Hey, welcome. It's been quite some time that we've come to you from the Heavy Metal Hideaway, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about injuries and maybe drawing from the experiences of other people. And I'll tell you, I've had my share of injuries, and a couple have come very lately, which has just kind of brought this to a head. And I thought it was about time that anyone who's open to listen to suggestions, anyone who is open-minded and really wants to hear from people who have been through it, please tune in. And if you're not interested and you want to have your own injuries and you want to do your own stuff on your own, that's fine too. I think we've all been there, done that. Take you back a little ways. A friend of mine, I think only one friend of mine knows this story, but a long time ago, my dad, I remember he had to leave to go somewhere, and our lawnmower didn't work. And I know this has nothing to do with fitness, but it kind of goes along with the whole theory of listening to people and drawing from their experience. So I'm not a mechanical person. I don't know how to fix shit, okay? And I remember my dad telling me once when this lawnmower didn't work, he had to go into town to get something. He'd be about 30 minutes. And he says, whatever you do, don't touch the recoil spring on the lawnmower. It was one of those old lawnmowers where you wound up the top, you clicked it shut, and then you pull the thing and you pull the switch, I believe, and it engaged the recoil spring to start the lawnmower. So he took off down the road, he went into town, and what did I do? Of course, I got out a screwdriver, a pair of pliers, and I started fucking with the machine. And I got the cap off the recoil spring, and I went to take the recoil spring out, which had, I don't know, for lack of a better word, sprung. And I had taken the recoil spring out, and that, I believe, was about 20 feet long. That 20-foot long recoil spring went everywhere, all over the driveway, grease flying, spring going everywhere. And suddenly I was in a panic. You know, I didn't listen to Dad, and Dad knew what the hell he was doing, and Kenyon didn't know what the hell he was doing. And as it turned out, Dad came back, and there I was with spring everywhere trying to wind this thing up. And of course, he did the I told you so. I thought I told you not to touch the recoil spring. So right there, as another, I guess, many times, I had to learn the lesson. Listen to people who have been through some things and have had, in our case, injuries, and have avoided injuries and have lived through injuries to repair them. So here we go into injuries, all right? So how to avoid and treat some. So the big three that I have had in my lifetime have been the coming down too far on the leg press, engaging the pelvis, making the pelvis come up off the seat, L4, L5 vertebrae, kind of do a little pinch maneuver on my disc and rupture a disc. That's number one, 1998. I remember it well, and it took me some time to get over an injection in my spine, a little bit of therapy on my own, a lot of walking, but eventually total recovery from that. Not long ago, you've heard where I had another kind of a pelvic injury deep within the muscles of my pelvis, probably the psoas, the piriformis. Some of those muscles spasmed, and I wound up going to the hospital, getting some medication, and that was a 4-week process to get through that pain, extreme pain, so that I was once again able to go back into the gym and do some of the things I needed to do in the gym. Just coming out of that, about 6 weeks after that happened, total recovery. What happens to me, but as simple as a sneeze. I woke up in the morning, didn't go through my normal stretching routine, didn't pull on anything, stretch on anything, get myself ready for the day. And about 15 minutes after I woke up, I had this horrific sneeze, which felt like I broke a rib in my back. Extremely painful. I've been living with that now for a little over a week, and just today I can say that I'm about 75-80% recovered from that, after massage therapy, after stretching, after ice, after heat, after more stretching, massage from my wife. So these are the things that we really got to avoid, especially as we get older. All right, 62 here. We do tend to injure a little more easily than those of you that might be 20, 25, 30. Our muscles at my age just are not as pliable. They just don't give and take as easily as younger people. So, so here's some things: avoiding injury. Of course, keep your nutrition good. My nutrition has not been good at all. We're about to tighten it up real good because there's a November contest I'm contemplating. So we're coming back with the nutrition angle for me. But prior to your workout, I'm not a big proponent of cardio before the workout. That's not where we want to put a lot of effort into cardio. But a quick 5-minute warm-up, walk, if you want to run in place, some high knees, just to get your blood pumping, to get your lungs sucking in some oxygen and oxygen into the blood. That's where you want to be. So a little bit of cardio, very little, okay? Not enough to tire you out. When you lift weights, when you're a bodybuilder, when you're a power lifter, your goal is to build muscle. So you need all your energy to build the muscle and max out on your weights. You don't want to expend a lot of energy doing cardio. So that's why we do very little cardio to warm up. We do our heavy weights first, and then later on we do our 20, 30, 40 minutes of cardio to burn the fat. The other thing I'm not a big proponent of is stretching, doing a lot of stretching before we work out, but you do want to get a total body stretch in, twist a little bit, maybe hang at the pull-up bar a little bit, get your muscles a little bit more pliable than they would normally be if instead you just kind of walked into the gym and hit the weights, okay? Pull them a little bit, stretch them a little bit, get them moving, get them used to the movement, and then get into your lifting routine, okay? Remember, when you stretch, you weaken the muscle, so you don't want to do too much of that. Treatment. Now, doing all this stuff is going to help you avoid injury, but it's not going to alleviate injury, all right? So treatment. When you first injure yourself, you really, really don't know what it is. You're not sitting here with an MRI or an X-ray, and you're not, going to be looking at your limbs and your ribs and your back and your legs right away. So you really don't know what it is. So to limit, to stop the immediate inflammation and swelling and redness caused by the injury, you want to hit it with ice. No one disputes this, okay? No doctor, no nurse, no EMT, nobody disputes ice first, all right? As time goes on, you've alleviated the swelling, you've maybe cut off some of the bruising and the black and blue marks you're going to get. As time goes on, you're going to have to ascertain, is it muscle? Is it bone? Is it cartilage? Is it tendon? All right, and as you ascertain which one it is, that needs to be your guide as to how you proceed with further treatment. I'm not a big believer in taking pills. Muscle relaxers, if you have to. Magnesium is a natural muscle relaxer you can take to help kind of keep things on the down low with your muscles, from keeping them from spasming. But if you've got spasm muscles, they're reacting to an injury, okay? So probably what you want to do, a day or two after the injury, after you've ascertained it's a muscle, you can interchange cold with heat. All right, you're already going to be hitting with ice. Put a little heat on it, and then go back and forth every 20 or 30 minutes with ice and heat. Get the muscle to relax and unwind, and then hit it with ice to once again stop the inflammation. It's also important to understand that not all inflammation is bad, all right? We've got this thing in our mind that inflammation is always a bad thing. And certainly when you eat inflammatory foods like wheat and sugar, and they get into your gut and they cause gut inflammation, that's different, all right? The inflammation caused by injury can be a good thing, because inflammation means that the muscle, the injury becomes inflamed because more blood is pumping into the region to repair it, all right? So that's okay to happen a couple days after the injury, because we do want that repair to take place. But right away, to stop the swelling, once again, ice. All right? So we're 2 days into the injury, a little ice, a little cold, a little ice, or I'm sorry, a little ice, a little warmth, a little heat. Go back and forth, alternate. And then as you get more into the injury, let's say a week into it, 8-10 days, if you haven't seen a doctor, then once again, you've already ascertained it's a muscle. Then you want to keep on with the heat, take the heat off. Put a little heat on, take a little heat off. You're trying to relax the muscle and allow it to heal. And once again, in keeping with everything else, you want to make sure your nutrition is on point. Make sure you get enough sleep. Don't go using the muscle. Don't force yourself back into the gym too early. Make sure you give this muscle time to heal. It might take 2-3 weeks to heal, or longer if you've got a tear. But just remember, your body needs time to heal, and 3 weeks out of the gym is not going to kill you. It's going to kill you mentally, perhaps, but it won't kill you physically. It might be better for you to do that. All right? So try to remember these points. I really want you to use my mistakes, the mistakes of experienced people to learn from. If you're 25 or 30 and you want to make your own mistakes, like I said, that's up to you. My old boss used to tell me, you know, if I asked him, hey, you know, can I do this, or can I teach people this way? He would say to me, well, this is America, you're an adult, you can do whatever you want to do. Of course. But we're also going to reap the benefit or not of doing the wrong thing. You know, we could have a catastrophe on our hands if we do the wrong thing. So if you have any questions, any comments, please leave them below. Please subscribe to my videos. I hope they make sense. I hope they help you. And we move on. You know, we just don't treat an injury as our death knell. We take the injury, we repair the injury, we learn from it, we don't do whatever we did again, and we move on, we get better from it, we grow from it. All right, once again, please hit like, and I hope to see you soon. I hope to do another video real soon. Thanks, and good night from the Heavy Metal Hideaway.